What's it like getting out there with them and hands-on the practice field this past week?
I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, really, the meetings and the OTAs and the morning workouts are great because it pushes our kids. But as a guy that loves to coach fundamentals and technique and get into the game and be a competitive, fiery guy, that's what it's about. Because I get to teach and instruct and be hands-on with my guys and make an impression with them about fundamentals and technique. And it gives them a chance to see that their work, and then they have success by doing it right. And it just builds that trust and that foundation you need from as a position coach to a player. So it's been great, really great.
Can you tell us about the implementation of the new system so far?
It's been great. I think the number one thing for me in football is fundamentals, techniques, and eye discipline. And I think no matter what system you're putting in, that is what you're trying to lay the foundation for. Because if your technique is right, your fundamentals are right, your eyes, and then lastly, your communication. If those things are right, no matter what you do, you give yourself a chance to win a football game. It's when you don't execute and you don't play with good fundamentals and technique or eyes, and you give up an explosive play. So regardless of the system, right now we're really focused on the process. And I tell guys, I'm in some regards not worried about the result of a play today in practice as the result of how we arrived at that, the process of how we arrived at that result. Because it's all about the process right now for us.
When did you decide or determine that you wanted to be a coach and you wanted to be as hands-on as you are?
Oh, wow. I think, for me, my journey's a little different with 4 years at the academy, 10 years active duty military. So to be honest, I never was going to be a coach. I wanted to be a general in the Air Force. And so I did 10 years, but my last 2 years, I got sent back to the academy to start coaching football. And I was just able to see how you could change a young man's life. You can recruit him, you can develop him and raise him from his teen years, and then you can graduate him, send him off to be a fighter pilot, a doctor, a lawyer, a husband, a father. And that just spoke volumes to me with my time at the academy as a military coach. So when it came time to move, I said, you know what? I love my country. I love what I'm doing in my career field, but I feel like I can have a bigger impact on kids' lives by doing that. And that's what I tell people all the time. The first thing I am is a mentor. I'm a father first, then I'm a mentor, and then I'm a coach.
Is it harder with the portal and all the movement in college football to do that?
I think the portal and the movement, it has made things very transactional, but my job as a coach is to build a relationship. And sometimes you can build a relationship over 2 years of recruiting and they come to you. And sometimes you build a relationship by making an impression on that young man and family. In the 3 weeks of the portal, they get to know you as a human, because it's not about football right then. It's about, can I trust the guy that's going to coach me to take care of me? And then I think once they get on campus, it's all about relationship. So I think, yes, I don't ever want to use that as an excuse of why I don't have a great relationship with a player. But I think you have to work harder when the time margin is shrunk to build an impression on that young man and that family, to let them know that you care about them.
What's that process been like this past few months that you've been here?
It's been great. These kids, one thing they want to do is they want to be coached. And they want to work hard and they're tough. And that makes my job a lot easier because they got a lot of want to. I'm not prodding guys to do anything. They're open eyes, open ears, notebooks ready. They're being sponges right now. As a guy that loves to teach, that's awesome. I don't have to, hey, stay awake, stand up. No, them guys are bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to roll. And they just soaking everything in, and they're trying really hard to make the process work. So it's been great.
Would you say anyone take the bull by the horns in terms of either a vocal leader or leader by example?
I think Torrente has done a really good job of being a vocal leader, a leader by the way he works and acts, being a second coach on the sideline when something goes wrong to help explain as I'm coaching other guys. I think he's taken that mature stance to help the defense get better and help our program get better. He has been an emerging leader since I got here. I mean, he was the first one to come meet with me one-on-one. He's been the guy that did a great job in morning workouts. And he's been a guy that's on the field, has been leading in multiple ways. So I think, no, he is experienced. He is older. He's been able to watch other guys become leaders to allow him to elevate to the leader he is.
Obviously a lot of new faces in that secondary, but how good has it been to have some veteran guys come into that system and be ready to step right into those roles?
It's been good. You don't start with a room full of guys that have never had experience in the scheme or experience on game day. And that's the key thing, is how many guys have game reps, because it's great to meet, it's great to practice, but there's nothing like game day. And we do all these things for those opportunities. So to have guys that have been in the fire, that have had success, had failures, and learn from them when it really, really matters, right? We don't get a do-over in a game if we blow coverage. So it's been great to have those guys to mix in with the new guys, but everybody's been great about soaking up the new information and trying to be a better football player.
How hungry have you seen them? Because some of the guys have played, but none of them really were in starting roles kind of last year. How hungry have you seen them kind of?
Oh, they're starving.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all starving because they haven't had 60, 70 plays in the game. And I told them when I got here, no matter what you did in the past, you have an opportunity to rebuild yourself right now. I don't know anything I can watch tape, but I don't know what the ins, ands, the buts, and the whys of last year. All I know is right now. So if you were a great player, you got to prove it. If you were bad, you got to prove it that you're going to be bad. Like, everybody has the open chance, and it's open competition. The jobs are open. And their enthusiasm, their hunger is what's going to push them to earn reps or lose reps.
Some of the guys, like say Brody Barnhart or Zach Myers, you probably evaluated them in high school and knew them, recruited them. But now that you see them a few years later, what is it like to work with them?
I think that just gives me a part of having a relationship where I knew a name and a face, I knew a mom and a dad. So there's a little bit more level of trust and relationship there than maybe a guy that I've never met, if that makes sense. When I come into a room and I never recruited you, I never met you, I'm just the bald-headed guy at the front of the room, and you got to learn that. But if I've recruited you for 18 months and I know your mom and I know your daddy and I've been to your house, then that's a little easier transition, especially between me and the parents once I take this job. So it's been good to have some familiar faces, Assad Brown, Brody Barnhart, Zach. There have been some guys that I have some overlap with in the recruiting trail.
And Ronnie Royal did everything for his high school team, and Coach Doran has repeatedly brought him up over the last 3-4 months. What is it about him that makes everybody believe that one day he's going to be very good?
I think it's like all these guys. They really, really work hard. They do a great job of giving us all they have when they're on the field, and Ronnie's no different. Play with good tempo, you play with a great motor, you love to play the game, and you're very coachable. And I think that bodes well for a lot of those guys in that room, where they have a chance to continue to elevate their play and elevate their contribution to the team.
Were you as hardworking when you were in college as these guys are?
Well, a little known story, I actually won in college. Like I said, I'll never say I'm the biggest, I'll never say that I was the smartest, but I was a hard worker. I mean, our team at the Academy, I was a senior, we have the coveted award called Mr. Intensity. I actually won that award as a senior, which is a pretty big honor because your name goes on the wall forever and all that. And that's really a testament to not necessarily you're the greatest player, but you're one of the hard working players. And I've been the same human my entire life. When I was in charge of programs, I was intense and fiery. When I was in the military and special forces, same thing. When I was a coach, no different. That's just sort of who I mold myself to be, and I try to put that on my guys, like sense of urgency, compete your butt off, and let the chips fall where they may, but we're gonna do it going 100 miles an hour, vectored in the right way. And so for me, it's all I've ever been.
Shocking that you were Mr. Intense.
Never would have guessed that.